witches, it's Alexa, otherwise known as the Barefoot Witch. How you all doing? We have Storm Dennis currently hitting us, so that's fun. Yay! Okay, first of all, shout out to probably my number one fan, my wee honorary nephew Rue. So, hi Rue, how you doing? Second of all, thank you to everybody who has already liked and subscribed. It's amazing, it means so much, so thank you guys, you're awesome. Right, this video is about getting started. Every day I get so many DMs and emails asking, I'm interested, or saying I'm interested in witchcraft. How do I get started? Where do I start? What do I do? And for those of you who are interested in witchcraft, relax. If you're messaging me, or if you're wondering, am I a witch? If you feel that you're a witch, you are a witch. If you think you're a witch, you're a witch. It's as simple as that. If you're drawn to the craft, there's a reason for it. So that being said, the next question that I get is, how do I get started? What do I do? Well, you read. Read everything you can on this subject. Read absolutely anything you can get your hands on. Check out YouTube videos like this one, but there's also some great witchcraft YouTubers out there. Read blogs. Tumblr, maybe, but read blogs, look at YouTube, read ebooks, buy books if you can, if you're skint, and a lot of us are. Check out your local library. There will be a section in your local library, and I can say that with confidence because I remember renting or borrowing even a book called The Spiral Dance, and I think 1999 or 2000 from my very small local library. So there are those resources. Some books and YouTube videos and things that some information that you find is going to be good, some is going to be bad, but all are going to have something to teach you, even if it's how not to do witchcraft, if that makes sense. So there's some really great books and videos and blogs out there, and then on the other hand there's some really, really bad ones, but everything will teach you something. Okay, so that being said, me saying read, well, okay, what would I recommend you read? So usually when someone asks me how to get into witchcraft, I point them in the direction of Wicca. I'm not Wiccan, but that's how I got into it. I point them in the direction of Wicca not because Wicca is inferior to traditional witchcraft, not because it's superior to traditional witchcraft, not because it's easy, nothing like that, just because Wicca is more accessible, in my opinion. In my opinion, Wicca is more accessible, and there are more books written on the subject of Wicca. So that's why I would say read up on Wicca. If it sparks something in you and you think, yes, Wicca is for me, awesome. If it doesn't, it's given you an insight into paganism and earth-based religions, and it's given you that it's a good doorway, it's a good starting jump-off point. That being said, Wicca might be for you, might not be for you, but it's great to read up, and it's great to educate yourself on loads of different forms of witchcraft, because there are many forms. So the book that I would recommend for for Wicca even, is this one, The Real Witch's Handbook by Kate West. It's really anything by Kate West. This is the first book on Wicca I ever read, aged 8, I think. So Kate West is, I'm bad, I highlight. Kate West she's a British Wiccan, and she's been practicing for over 30 years, says on the back here. But this book, it's super down to earth. It's super, I don't want to say easy, but it's really easy to read. She explains things in ways, she makes it really simple and really easy to understand, and she's very clear. And quite frankly, it is to this day, it's one of the best books on Wicca that I have ever read. And I have a lot of her other books. So she's got a series, The Real Witches, and then this handbook, Kitchen, Garden, I think Coven maybe, I'm not sure. But anything by Kate West, if you're looking to get into Wicca, gotta highly recommend that one. If we're looking at traditional witchcraft, I would honestly recommend Treading the Mill by Nigel Pearson. Nigel is a lovely guy. He is, again, he writes in a really clear, easy to understand, no nonsense way. I like a no nonsense writer. Treading the Mill is published by Troy Books Publishing. I will leave a link to them in the comments below. And Treading the Mill really simplified a lot of, when I was getting into traditional witchcraft, it really answered a lot of the questions that I had. And again, it's a really good book to start off with. And then we have Gemma Gary. Can't talk about traditional witchcraft without talking about Gemma Gary. She's kind of the rock star of traditional witchcraft, if that makes sense. Her books, she doesn't write in such a clear way as Pearson does. Gemma writes in a way that, to me, is very Shakespearean. She is dramatic and passionate about her craft, and it's wonderful. I love it. So this one is The Black Toad by Gemma Gary, and this is, again, Troy Books Publishing, and it's West Country witchcraft and magic, so magic from the West Country of England, and it's really insightful. It's wonderful, that one. And then this one, look at the cover of this. This is The Devil's Dozen by Gemma Gary, and this is 12 rites and rituals that I believe Gemma has composed herself regarding traditional witchcraft, traditional magic, and it's just, again, she writes in quite a Shakespearean way, but it's passionate, and you can tell that she knows what she's talking about, and she truly, truly loves her craft. And this is great because traditional witchcraft is different from Wicca. Well, that's a whole different video. But the rites and the rituals and the actual spellcraft itself is different. And this book, without comparing them, if you know about Wicca and its rites and its festivals, and then you read this, you do get a clear sense of how they differ. And that is really, I'd say that one, that's interesting, and it's a good thing to know. Now, Troy Books Publishing is a small independent publishing company based in Cornwall in England. This is not sponsored by them. I'd love it if it was, but it's not. Because they're a small publishing company, some of their books are a little more expensive, but they are worth it. They don't publish fluff. They publish really, really good work, solid pieces of work. They do ship internationally, but I don't know about shipping prices. So for my American witches out there who might struggle to get something by Troy, I would recommend Besom, Stang and Sword. It's already getting rave reviews on Amazon. I raved about it. Christopher Othello and Tara Love Maguire are just, I know them through Instagram, and again, this isn't sponsored. I know them through Instagram. They are lovely people, They write, again, in a really clear, concise manner. And, you know, they cover things in this book like herbalism, which is a big one for traditional witches. They talk about the devil and his particular role in traditional witchcraft. They talk about all sorts of familiars, all sorts. It's a really good book for a starter. Even if you're not just starting out, Besom, Stang and Sword is a fantastic read because it's two Americans practicing traditional witchcraft but it's not like Alpecian witchcraft or voodoo or Louisiana witchcraft. It's very similar to what I would say your 15th century witches in England and Europe would have practiced. It's quite... It's quite a... what's the word I'm looking for? It's historical, if that makes sense, but modern at the same time. You know, this to me feels like this is what my ancestors could have practiced, but it also feels like it's suitable for me in the 20th century. Are we in the 20th century? 21st century? God, what century are we in? Please tell me. Someone tell me. Okay. So another book I don't have, so ta-da! Book I don't have is The Crooked Path by Keldon. Again, I follow Keldon on Instagram. He is a lovely, lovely man. And The Crooked Path was released, I think maybe 3 months ago, 2-3 months ago. It's getting rave reviews. I don't believe it's available in the UK yet. I have it pre-ordered on Amazon, but it's not arrived, so I'm assuming it's not available here in the UK yet. But it is available in America, and it's getting rave reviews. It's another one on traditional witchcraft. I would recommend it based on the reviews I have read, but because I haven't read it myself, that's all I'm going to say. I can't wait till my copy arrives. I can't wait to read it, and I can't wait to do a barefoot witch or a barefoot book review on it because it does look really, really good. I believe he's writing his second one, so he obviously did something that we all liked, right? So shout out to him. What else? Yeah, just these are my recommendations. I can do more book recommendations. I'm gonna do book reviews, more in-depth book reviews on all of these books, but this is just a getting started post. So yeah, my getting started advice would be read everything you can. Just read everything you can, and if it sparks a fire in your soul, if witchcraft sparks a fire in your soul, then awesome. That being said, guys, thank you so much for listening to my rambling about books. I hope you liked this video. Please remember to give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell button so that you always get updates on my videos. I'm aiming to do 2 a week. I've got a lot to talk about. So yeah.